All right. Just watched that game. Very exciting. Very exciting. Good end. Good end. I'd like to know, is that a championship game? Like, what was that? Because that was a pretty exciting game. All right. Well, let's get through it. Um, a couple of things that I saw just with your style, like where to zero in your style. And so we'll talk about that. Right off the bat, looked at a couple of things. Right, we're having a face off. Sorry, didn't quite get all my things ready. Um, I wonder what happened to that fella. He didn't last very long. Must have hurt himself. All right, so we've got this starting. All right, you angling him out. So there you are, right? You're right there angling him. And what I liked right there is your reach with your stick, but not reaching in all the way. You've put it really close to really limit his ability to pass the puck. That's like textbook. So it's a containment. It's like a perfect angle. Then you've removed his ability to do stuff. So it's a great contain. And then he makes the turn, and then it's a pin, and then you're out. Like, it was sweet. Like, I noted that. It's like, ooh, that was textbook. It's really important that forwards understand that when you defend as you skate forwards, and your ability to go sideways like that to cut people off and an angle needs to be like your best feature. Defensemen go backwards. Forwards play their defense going forwards. Okay? All right. Here's a couple of things that right off the bat here. So I saw a nice shift. Okay, there you are right here. All right, and I'm watching you. How are you getting involved? You're F3. So we've got two players deep. You're floating in what we call the soft area between the dot and the top of the circle. And all the way across the ice, there's a soft area. Now, there's two other places that are really um, important, and it's this kind of area in here, right in there. That's kind of like a spot. All right. Now, let's look at you here. You're hovering, and then right there, I like what you do because you like to be in front of the net, right? But then it's this part that caught my attention here. That's no longer the soft area. That there is an area that the defensemen hang out in. And so if we look on the board over here, the soft area is back here, right? And you have ventured close to the net, and there's a D. The D are there, and they just have you. And that's what happened. So this guy in front of the net sees you there and is like, oh, I probably should take you. Right? Right there. Instead of staying in front, I would have backed out a little bit into the edge of the soft area, right around the hash marks. Get away from them. So when you get it, you've got some room. Okay? So that was my thing. Like, I like this shift. Puck goes out to the point. And there you are for a tip. Like, your net front presence is what was really throughout the game. I was really liking that. All right. So in this shift, I call it great support. Let's see. Yeah, you're going in. You go to the net. You're there for a tip. And then when you go into the corner, you're staying. You're staying to support. Now, this player is out of position because the line where the puck is on that side of the ice. And so there should be two people down deep working together, and then somebody in the soft position. And it's like right here is that soft position, because this guy usually takes the D, and then this little area is like you should be camped out right in there, floating around. And that's a great place. to be. All right. So if we look at it, how it finishes out, I really liked how you supported it. And then right there, you missed it. It's a little trick, right? If you watch the goalie, okay? I'm a lefty too, and I do this all the time. It's a neat little move. Goalie's watching you, you start to move this way. Okay, so watch what the goalie's gonna do. See him turn? See him turn his head? Of course he's gonna turn. He thinks you're going around the backside. So watch his head. Right there. There's that moment where he's looking one way and then he's turning his head to look the other way. That's when the pass is made. You'll see in a second. You've got room. You got a player. You start to move this way. You're selling that you're moving. You get going. And then so like if we look here, you're selling that you're moving. And once you get to the middle of the net, that's usually when the goalie starts to shift to the other side, in which case you make a very tight cut pass to this side. This goalie will be on this side of the net waiting for you with no puck. So imagine that you did that. And look at your player. Pass. 22, and both of them would have an open net. It's a neat little trick, little trick to get passing the puck when he's moving his head like that. But you're selling it once you start to move halfway, and then it's a hard cut back. All right. So here I saw it again, too close to the net. So let's take a look at what happens. Okay, you're in the soft spot. Right here, right there. See where you stopped? You stopped right in front instead of being in this soft area, which is open again. You're standing, you see you're still too close. Still too close. Like if you back out just a bit, right there is now, well, this is, yes, a power play, but still. Okay, so I wanted to show you this.
Here are a few examples.
This little, this guy. Okay, so watch this.
Examples of some techniques forwards use to create space in front of the net. I'm not going to go into as much detail.
And the reason I'm saying, like, where you do a lot of damage is in front of the net. You are the one who goes there and grinds it out. And to me, you really want to focus on your ability to move the puck sideways or find 5 holes or shelf pucks. Because when the puck is there and you whack at it, the goalie's there. When the puck is there, it's a step sideways roof, or it's a step sideways 5 hole, or it's something, but it's practiced. It's like, you don't think it is done, right? So that is like a thing you got to dig into and learn how to do. And here's something that I just noticed. Again, you do go to the net too much when the puck isn't there yet. So finding the space. So take a look at this.
As I usually do on this one, I'm just going to kind of let it run and talk about it as it goes. But sometimes just stopping up, if you've got a forechecker skating right beside you on the way in and you hit the brakes, you can just see that separation, finding a soft area. This one is actually Darlene, the guy that's kind of rated. I think he's the first overall. He's going to be the first overall pick in this year's draft. But that was him that dropped the puck and come down here and actually pivoted out into this soft area up in here. So cross and drop and then turn and skate backwards, pull away from the net into a soft area. Here's Matthews kind of switching sides of the net. He's following down to the right side of the net, identifies, pulls back and to the left and extends his reach and range and picks up that puck. Here's a push off. So just a two-hand cross check on the hips, making sure that you don't knock that player down, but pushing low enough that you're just pushing him away from you. Stone here with a roll off, standing beside that player and just rolls right around him and gets inside positioning. Inside positioning is something you can really work on in practices. And here's Lucic using his frame to get inside position and box out. So a few quick examples there for working on forwards.
Okay. And then the other thing, now I know this is a little guy, but this is it, right? So watch. This is kind of how you train that. There's a puck line there, sideways, roof, sideways, roof. It comes out at you weird. It's bouncing, whatever. You got to deal with it. And so it's like this is like over and over and over, so you don't think about it, and they poof, poof, and they're right up in the shelf because you don't whack at it first. You go sideways first, then up. Right? All right, because I noticed that you're like the whole game is you in front of the net causing trouble, and so now we got to get that goal scoring touch. Okay, here's something I noticed. Like I really, again, I keep harping on how you're a very responsible player, and you take your responsibilities seriously because I never see you really. You're very consistent. So I just watched right there. Okay, so here you are. Okay, and you're watching the D swing. Okay, and right there, that is a perfect time because you're not ahead of the puck. You're supporting this puck. Now there's a guy on the inside there, but a good defenseman would see this. You're there. You're open, and your two wingers are doing a good job of getting through, creating a different layer. You're not. You should not be at the same level as the wingers. The wingers are up there. You should be almost sideways or slightly diagonally forward so you're supporting that puck carrier, right? And then so the way you handled that timing, like this D's got to see you. You got to see that, then that's experience, but you're open again with your breakouts, okay? Now, it's good timing. I like your timing. Here's an example of poor timing, not to chirp on this kid, but what I saw, what poor timing looks like, where you're leaving your defenseman out to dry, is what 11 does here. So if you watch 11, D's going behind the net and looks where he starts to curl and receives it. That is not support. That is, you're in the same line as the wingers. That is not supporting. The center should be right about there receiving that puck. Now, in a bantam game, this is trouble. If that was a bigger defenseman and you're looking back over your shoulder, dude, total hospital pass. Okay? So, what I'm saying is, I like how you do your timing because you're supporting the D. And when you get with D who do see the ice, you're going to get the puck a lot more. All right. So here, this one here, need to recognize when you're F2 and the delay. So that one play where that um, Marlowe was going in and hit the brakes and created a little bit of separation while the puck carriers went forward, you're creating a diagonal back situation. Okay, so if you look at this play, you guys come in, 10 gets the puck, so you're right here. Okay, we got F1, F2, F3 all in a line. We don't want that. The farthest player, rule of thumb, is the farthest player is going to the net as hard as they can. It draws defensemen away, creates space. Okay, F2 should delay. You want a diagonal pass. So right here, as he's going, you went to the net here instead of coming back to support because he's going to the net. Okay, so in this case, you might want to consider hitting the brakes so you can get behind this guy so the two of you can 2-on-1 the one defenseman. And then maybe he gets in behind him and you can pass it back to him. That's another option. But in this case, it's a shot from nowhere and then you're all gobbled up. Right? So you, as he's coming in here, you're delaying behind him so that when that D is being worked and this puck gets dropped back, your first player continues onto the net, which can be a little bloop by you or a shot, and then he's right there for any rebound. This was just too far away. Nothing we can, a shot from the hash marks from the corner. Every goalie's going to have that. So, okay. All right. Next one. Yeah, you're always the one that goes to dig. So let's take a look at this in terms of the lens of. So there you are, going to the net. There it is. Now see how you just whacked at it? He's there. Like you can't whack the puck through him. In this case, you have a moment, one little moment where there's nobody on you. And there's not a lot of moments. This is like a skill that is developed because it's hard. Because once you start to make your move, those D are coming and you're going to get a cross check in the back or whatever. You don't seem to mind any of that, so, which is like a real tip of the hat to your toughness, man. So here, this is kind of the thing where you got to be able to pull the puck off the goalie and get it straight up in the air, right? Because this is what goalies do. They flop down. They're in their butterfly or whatever, where you're either pulling it to your backhand and up or you're pulling it to your forehand and up. You don't just go in, right? So that case where, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Where you got the right there, you could have, and then there's some pushing and shoving, but it's always you. It's like that. So like you're there. You want to be there. There's all the goals are there, right? All right. And the way you play, it's smart, very smart. Simple as the game can be by making simple plays. Everybody tries to be so fancy and dangly. Like, why? Okay. Here you are coming up the ice. Okay. Right here. That. Grade A. Why is that so, like, why am I all fired up about that? Is because you got it. You knew he was there. And so what you did is this little layup. You kind of slowed up, brought that defenseman to you, which is when you gave it. So you took the hit, or you drew them in. Yeah, come to me. I'm the one to worry about, and then you send it to the guy who's wide open, like right there, like I would have gone even, and then he went like into the corner instead of being more of a direct to the net. So like that was like, ooh, it's like smart, really smart. Like I love that. All right, another one where I'm like, great play. Let's see, what was the great play? I don't quite remember. It's like simple heads up passing, which if your team like dialed into that, like you started to do that at the end when you had like a couple of goals in a row. You started passing to each other, and it's like ding ding ding. It's like, guys, like what are you waiting for? Do it right away. All right, what is happening here? Okay, back. All right, so this great play here. Let's see, where are you? Okay, there you are. You have the puck coming in. This simple play, getting a grade A right there, and then another one. Boom. It's so simple that you move the puck before you're in trouble. So many players, I'm gonna dangle, and then they get in they can't beat the guy, and now they're gonna start looking for passes instead of making passes when you have time and you're seeing people streak and in open places. Like you have a very mature way of playing, and that is growth potential, real growth potential. Like it's really, if you look at what you did, like it's so simple. Like before you're in trouble, tons of room for a guy who's in a better up spot for a shot. And then that's a really great scoring opportunity. It's like real good work, man. All right. So I got excited, so I don't try to write that quickly. So, and then here it's the scoring technique thing. When you're in front of the net, so there you are in front of the net. You've just recognized the D gets it. So the first thing you do is like, okay, go to the net because that's where the puck's coming. Puck's there. You're in front. There. See how you just whacked at it? You gotta and right into a goalie that's in a butterfly. It's a pull up, some sideways movement to open up his 5 hole. Then you can slide. If you just whack at it, a lot of times they're down and they cover so much that it's just this pull sideways. So your first thing was you whacked at it. To me, what you could have done, let's see, right there when you had it, so that you now have it. See, he's down, taking up a lot of net. Pull it, toe this side, and then a shelf and up. Side, up. Or sideways, up. Okay? All right, let's look at another one. Work hard early so you don't have to work that hard. Oh, yeah, this play. I was like you don't, if you only have the foresight. Okay, so here's the puck, goes into the corner. I'm watching you kind of go slowly to support. All right. And I'm like, dude, you got to race to the support so he knows you're there. Race there, like a hard few steps so that you can work this guy. You got to get there. And you're like slowly going, and the one guy takes him. Now look at how hard you got to work. Look at this. Look how hard you're working. All the way back to get him. That is a lot of work. So a friend of mine had said that work hard early so you don't have to work that hard. So imagine in this case you worked hard to get into that support spot to make sure he knows that you're there so you can get to do the fun stuff down here. Instead he had this colossal back check and then you were behind him and still caught him all the way back. Look at that. That's a huge back check. Do those a couple of times, will burn your shift out, eh? All right, so here I've got another doorstep with the puck play. What is going on with my computer? All right, sorry. All right, trying to get this computer to work right. All right, another doorstep with the puck in the scrum. So let's take a look. Where are you? You are, I think, coming right up there. So that's you right here. All right, well, let's take a look. As you're coming through, going straight to the net where the goods are. Boom. See now what you did? See it? You whacked right at it. So your instinct is like you're ready, and then you see it and you whack at it. We got to change the instinct to go sideways first. Something else, but it's got to go up, right? It's got to. The goalie again is. And look at the stack he's got. Every time they're down, and the top of the net is up. It's got to go up. Puck comes to you, you whacked it right into that widespread stack. So there it is again. And this is just I kept seeing it. It's like, oh, he's right there again, and you put it right into the goalie. So we got to change that, but it's practice. It is working on roofing like thousands of pucks so that when it's on your stick, boom, it's up, sideways up, right? And you can look for net front presence drills. Okay, there's I just quickly looked at a few and there was a bunch. All right, okay. Let's see. You're taking the draw, going to the net. Beautiful. Beautiful. So there you are right there. F3 goes to the net, which you did. Popped out to you. Make no mistake, it's in. Huge goal. Nice. Another net front scrum. Let's take a look. Where are you? I think you're in front, and I would argue that you're too close again. See it? So like when you're there, you're right beside the defenseman. If you're a little higher, you can create some space for yourself. All right. Going out to the D, so you're there ready for boxing out that guy. And there you are. See that? See the whack, the whack, the whack? You got a good tip on it. Sometimes you can, obviously. But trying to get sideways just so he opens his legs and then you go through the 5-hole. You get some side of sideways movement to be able to find things. But there you are again, loving the scrum. It's great. It's great, dude. Their fifth goal, just so you know, I noticed that you're being put out for all the big draws. And then you won your draw, and your defenseman was completely out to lunch. Completely out to lunch. Look at the difference on when this kid takes off and when he takes off. It goes right through, wins your draw, and then they whack it in and they end up putting it in. It's like, that's a frustrating goal. And now this one. Loved it. Okay, so there you are now, going down. So here's what I liked. You have the puck and you're not giving it away. We call that wall work, right? We've talked about that. So you're working the puck. You're not giving it away. You've worked hard to get it. And then you do that. And then that happens. Look at Super Guy. Yeah, you're awesome, buddy. You're the one. You're the one that made that all happen. And this is the guy with the super sellies. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old, but you're the man. And I saw it right away. And then these guys, like, you did all the work. You beat two players, made a slick pass out to him in front. Like, look at that. You got two guys. Beat him, had the wherewithal to get it to him, and then now it's the knee down, the jump, and the hot, like, I don't know your team. I don't know all these guys, but you're the man. And that was a great goal. That is a Stitcha goal right there. Tough. Hold on to that puck, and then you make a smart play. Like, all right, get to work on your net front roof shots. You gotta make that your thing, man. Make that your thing. All right, I'll see you at the next one.